Hello Year 11 and Year 11 parents, and we're really excited to introduce you to the English department. And before you hear from us teachers, we thought that you might like to meet some of our current A-level students, Matea, Maddie and Tamana. And we've got a couple of questions that we're going to ask them that we thought you might want the answer to as well. So first of all, we'd just like to ask Matea, why did you choose to study English as a subject?
Well, I studied English at A-level because I was really good at GCSE and I really enjoyed it. I really thought that the A-level spec would be a nice change from the tragedy because we study comedy and crime, which is really interesting. A-level English Lit also gives you a good base at uni, so there's lots of career paths that stem from A-level English literature. And I've also really enjoyed my teachers this year and they've really helped my essay writing skills.
Thank you, Matea. And Maddie, which text would you say is your favourite that you've studied over the 2 years so far?
So Atonement is my favourite, which is from year 2 of the A-level. It's my favourite because it's really complex storyline, and through studying the book you can explore the true criminals of the story and make your own interpretations of whether the protagonist actually atones. I think the book is really gripping, and it's really enjoyable to read outside of the course because every time you read it you get to notice something different.
Thank you. And Tamana, what tips would you give an aspiring English literature student who wanted to study with us at the Holt?
I think my main tip would be to read around the text, so that's like reading articles, critical opinions, and also things like non-reading activities such as films and documentaries. I also think you can engage in the books in other ways, so I personally find listening to the audiobook because it helps you sort of digest the text and get a better understanding of the plot and stuff. And I think my final tip would probably be making sure that you fully engage in class debates, because it helps you sort of bounce off other people's ideas and you get a better understanding of the text and also different perspectives, which is good for your English essays anyway.
Thank you, girls. So we thought that might be quite useful for you to hear from our students first. Secondly, I'd just like to pass over to Miss Hunt, who is our Key Stage 5 coordinator. She's in charge of A-level for English, and she's going to explain to you what we study in Year 12.
So in Year 12, we study everything under the aspect of comedy genre. So what we do is everything we read, we have to think about how it relates to comedy and how it is funny. So one of the first things we read is a play by William Shakespeare, who, as you know, is a genius. He wrote the play Twelfth Night, which is a comedy. It's quite a dark comedy though. There are lots of really interesting characters, there are misunderstandings, confusion, love triangles, and also some cruel behaviour. So we have to read that and study it and think about how is it actually being comic. Also in Year 12, you read this play, The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, another genius writer. He's really good at being witty and sarcastic and critical of his society. So we look at his play and we try and work out what he is saying about the society in which he lived. And then we also read some poems from an anthology that we will give you, which are by lots of different poets. But again, we have to work out what is funny about the poems, what is comic about the poems, or often what is the poet's attitude towards their subject matter. So all of these things we study in Year 12, and they all help you answer questions in the first exam paper.
Okay, and then obviously in Year 13 we actually change genres, so we stop studying comedy and we actually start studying crime. So it's a bit of a darker turn, I suppose, and you would have heard Maddie talking about one of these texts just a moment ago. So here's some of the texts here. We've got Atonement that Maddie was talking about, and this is a text that's really enjoyed by our Year 13s, and I suppose what makes it so good is that it's really forms quite a lot of debate really about the protagonist, Bryony, and it's all about trying to work out whether she has atoned for her crime or not. And that's something that we really enjoy discussing. Another sort of text that we study is our collection of poems, and one of the poems is actually set in Reading. It is a poem by Oscar Wilde that he wrote while he was in Reading Jail, and you might remember an exhibition that went on in Reading Jail not so long ago, and they really enjoy studying that text as well. And another poem as well that we study that's a bit longer is The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Coleridge, and that's again a really interesting crime text. It's all about basically shooting an albatross, and we study whether we think that was a crime or not, as well as lots of other things. So Year 13 changes genre, and we also have then an NEA that Year 13 also study for in this year group. So I'll pass over to Miss Hunt for that.
So the great thing about English A-level is that you have to do exams, but also you get a chance to do coursework. And for GCSE, you didn't really get that chance to really draft something, spend a lot of time on it, make a really good job of it. So in Year 13, we have this assignment, which is called the NEA, and you have to write 2 pieces of coursework. And it's really exciting because you get more of a choice. So you can choose a poet to write about, and then you choose a novel to write about. And you choose a question, and then you have time to draft it and improve it and get feedback on it and make something really, really amazing. So if you like the opportunity to do some exam work and some coursework, this course is perfect because it gives you the opportunity to develop all of those different skills. So here are some of the authors that we sometimes recommend, and it's up to you to read around, choose something that you're interested in, and then you get a chance to write about it in a lot of detail.
I'm sure a lot of you will be quite interested in where this subject can take you after A-level, and I would definitely want to know that if I was you. So we can tell you that English literature really does broaden your options after you study for A-level. So if you were to go on and study at the university, you could use it for lots and lots of careers. So you could use it for journalism, you could use it for performing arts, Spanish, geography, business management. It's a really, really highly respected A-level, and it can take you lots of places. So I hope that we have shown you how passionate we are about our subject, and we really, really hope to welcome you very, very soon to the Holt to study with us.